Have you ever wondered how some of the most well known brands of today began their journey? If you will look at and explore their brand, you will notice that they did not introduce fully finished products in the market. Instead, they experimented with simple, small scale versions before scaling up. Hey there, innovators. Today, we are going to look at some compelling examples of successful minimum viable products. In this video, you will see how the famous brands used MVPs to validate their ideas, attract customers, and scale into global giants. If you are a product manager, an entrepreneur, or business owner who wants to create a product, then this video is just for you. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about what is MVP. A minimum viable product is the simplest version of a product with only enough features to attract early adopters and validate an idea. The goal: to learn what works and what doesn't without devoting years to development. Now, let us look at how some well known companies began small and grew into giants. First, let's talk about Dropbox. Dropbox used a basic demo video to test its idea, writing a single line of code. The result: their email signs up skyrocketed, indicating a demand before they even build their product. A fantastic example of testing an idea before investing too much. Now, let's talk about Buffer. The founders made a simple landing page outlining the service and asking visitors if they were interested before creating their full fledged social media scheduling tool. Guess what? People signed up. They started working on the product as a result of their early access. They were able to validate their concept using this method without having to invest months of development. Now, let's talk about Airbnb. When Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, Airbnb's first host and owners, were struggling to pay their rent, they devised a plan to rent their spare room. Rather than establishing a massive marketplace, they tested the concept by creating a simple website listing their own location. 3 guests booked, bingo, proof of concept. The short term rental industry that we know today was born out of this experiment. Now, let's discuss about Facebook. Facebook wasn't always a global giant. It started as the Facebook, a social network exclusively for Harvard students. This limited launch allowed them to refine the platform before expanding into the world. The lesson: small start, test within the students, and grow. Now, let's talk about Amazon. It may surprise you to learn that Amazon was once merely an online bookseller. Jeff Bezos began by focusing solely on books rather than starting out with millions of products. Amazon became the all-in-one store we know today by expanding into new categories as demand grew. This gradual scaling approach is a key principle of MVP success. Now, let's talk about Uber. A product that is used by people around the world for transportation. Uber's MVP was simple: a basic app that matched drivers and passengers in San Francisco. Users could book rides using a straightforward interface with no complicated features. Uber was able to test demand, streamline logistics, and scale city by city using the MVP approach before going global. Now, let's talk about Slack. Slack didn't start as the team communication tool we know today. It started out as an internal messaging tool for a gaming company. When they realized how effective it was, they created a product that transformed it into a workspace communication. Now, let's talk about Duolingo, a small user base and a single language were the focus of Duolingo's initial MVP. They tested a basic gamified learning process rather than overpowering users with features. They become the world's top language learning app due to user feedback, which also helped them add more languages. Now, let's discuss the pre-cap. So, what is the main takeaway? An MVP is not about launching a perfect product, but rather a testable one. Each of these brands began small, tested their ideas, and improved based on their feedback. And guess what? You can do the same. So that's it. An MVP is about launching a product that facilitates effective learning, adapting, and scaling. It doesn't It shouldn't be launched prematurely. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and leave a comment about which MVP story inspired you the most. See you in the next video. Thank you.